Autumn on Michigan Avenue. Narrator, Chicago, October. The wind cut like a razor between the skyscrapers, tearing golden leaves from the trees in Millennium Park and pushing life inward into the cafes, warm apartments, and memories no one could leave behind. She was Elena Ruiz, born in Pilsen, daughter of Mexican immigrants, a 34-year-old lawyer with a brilliant career but a heart full of scars. He, Thomas Whitaker, 36, was an architect from Lincoln Park, raised among museums and parks, trapped in a marriage that had died long before it legally ended. They met one gray October afternoon at an art gallery in the West Loop. Elena hadn't intended to go. She had canceled 3 times with her friend Clara. But that night, something in the air pushed her. Perhaps it was the need to see something beautiful amidst her gray days. Thomas was there alone. He was looking at an abstract canvas of red and black tones, lost in the chaos that seemed to mirror his life. Elena stood beside him, frowning. "Do you know what it looks like to me?" she said without looking at the man beside her. Like someone wanted to hide something very sad beneath all that paint. He turned, intrigued. "Or perhaps they tried to remember something that hurt too much," he replied. That's how it all began. Narrator. For weeks, they shared walks along the Chicago River, dinners in Little Italy, jazz in hidden clubs in the alleys of the South Loop. The world seemed slower when they were together. Problems didn't disappear, but they became softer. Elena didn't ask much. She knew Thomas still lived with his wife, although they had been separated for over a year. She knew he had a young daughter, Emma, age 7, and she knew that, for some reason, he wasn't taking the final step. "It's not as easy as just leaving," he explained one night, when they were in his 23rd floor apartment overlooking Lake Michigan. "Some things break in silence. I don't love Margaret anymore, but Emma deserves more than a broken home." Elena fell silent. She understood. But that didn't make it hurt any less. Narrator. The first kiss came on an unexpectedly snowy night in late November. The world outside was white. Inside her, a whirlwind. They kissed at the entrance of an independent cinema after seeing Before Sunrise. It was sweet and brief, like a promise. "This can't last if everything stays the same," Elena whispered, her forehead against his chest. "I know," he said, without moving. Narrator. Months passed, and each one brought with it an unanswered question. Elena tried to distance herself. She threw herself into work. But every time she thought she had closed that door, Thomas appeared with a smile, a message, an apology. One day, he took her to his childhood home in Oak Park. They were walking down the oak-lined street when he stopped in front of a white house. "Here, I used to dream of building something that would leave a mark, but no one taught me how to build a life." Elena looked at him, her eyes full of tears. "And now? Now I just want to be brave. For you." Narrator. The legal separation arrived in March. Thomas finally left the house. He moved into a small apartment in the West Loop. But something broke between them before they could celebrate. One night, Elena found him distracted, distant, and when she asked what was wrong, he couldn't answer, or wouldn't. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm dragging you down with me, if being free isn't enough to deserve you." "That's not for you to decide," she said, hurt. "I chose this path too. You're not the only one suffering, but I don't want you to suffer," he repeated, as if that were enough. Narrator. They drifted apart for weeks. Elena resumed therapy. She traveled to New York. She returned with a new sparkle in her eyes. Thomas started spending more time with his daughter, redrawing the blueprints of his life. They didn't speak for almost 2 months, until one day in June, while the city celebrated the Pride Parade, amidst balloons and laughter and drag queens dancing in the street, they met by chance. "Do you still believe that painting was hiding something sad?" he asked, as if time hadn't passed. Elena looked at him. She smiled slowly. "I think sometimes sadness is beautiful too, because it means something mattered." He lowered his gaze, and then raised it, his heart exposed. "I still love you, Elena." She took a deep breath. The lake wind ruffled their hair. "Then let's start over. But this time, without shadows." Narrator. They started seeing each other again, without immediate promises. They learned to love each other with less fear, slowly, like the summers that take their time to arrive in Chicago. And although they knew that wounds don't completely disappear, they also knew that some scars could become maps, maps that lead back home. The end.